In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a custom waitlist sign-up form inside of Framer using Framer forms, where you can provide a form with simple name and email inputs. You can have these inputs pre-filled if they come from a specific campaign. And once the user clicks on submit, there is a custom redirect page that you can basically inform the user that they're on the list. I'm Lucas from Interframe. Let's go. All right, so let's say that we have a page like this that is just dedicated to get signups to a waitlist, right? Now, we could open Framer Forms and look at the different templates. And down here, we actually have a waitlist template. And if I click on preview, we can see this, right? We have this Framer Forms is coming soon. We have this title, this description text, and then we have the name input, the email input, and then we have 3 different selectors to choose from. So having something like these selectors or the ability to upload a file or something is exclusive to Framer Forms, right? That's what makes Framer Forms so powerful. So going back into a project, I don't just want to add the name and the email field, but I also want to add something else, something that makes it more advanced. But let's just go back to the main dashboard, click on new form, and let's click on single page form. And we get a new single page form over here. And what I want to do is I just want to, bring this in here and set this to a fill width. And then inside of these inputs, we have different options to add to our, to our form. So we can add, for example, a slider, a number, radio buttons, image select like we had up here, buttons, country, and so on and so forth. In this case, I want to actually delete this location field, and I would like to add this image select down here. And let's set this to a fill width. And what we can do is we can also add a phone number underneath the email, and we can also add a country underneath the phone number. We can also style this so that we can put these together, these together inside of their own stack, and make the stack horizontal and make these set to fill width. And we can do the same thing for the name and for the email. And now what we can do is also we can try to edit these images, right? So what we have to do is just double click on this. And here on the right side, we have different options, right? We have this image select as a name. We can keep it required or not required. I would say let's just keep it required. We can add this multi-select option. So if people are interested in multiple products, for example, we can click on this. And then over here, we have the 3 different options. So we have option 1, and then this is where we can edit the image. So you can either add your own image or you can use a plugin. In this case, I'm just going to be using a plugin for this tutorial. We can also edit the text over here. So this one can be like a remote meeting. This option 2 can be a group meeting. And this one can be a private consultation, right? So this is the 3 different options that your business would provide. And then down here in the text, we can adjust the location of the text, whether it stay at the top or be at the bottom. I would keep it at the top, for example. And there's a bunch of other options that you can choose from. Like, for example, when you toggle this specific option, would it be blue? Would it be red? Would it be black? You can, for example, keep this black. Also with the fill, we can edit that as well. And once you're kind of done with this whole layout, it's very important to name these different inputs. So for example, this is name, that's perfect. This one is email. This one is phone number. This one is country. And then over here, we have the image select. And the reason why we should name these is because sometimes you have duplicates of the names if you want to add like first name, last name, or if you have like duplicates of the image select, you have to keep things unique with their name, because once you get the submissions, you want to have, different names with different results and not just one name with different results under that column. And once we're done with that, we can go ahead and select the form and click over here to send to. We can either send it to your email as a, with this email option. You can send it via webhook. So basically you can use something like Zapier to kind of, send it to Slack or have some different workflows behind that. And under Google Sheets, you can basically connect your email. And basically once you connect your email with Google Sheets, you can create a sheet called like form submissions. Click on create, and that's connected. And once that's connected, we can go ahead and test out the submissions. All right, so join our waitlist. Let me put my name and my email. I put my phone number, I can select the country, and then I can select one of these. So I can select multiple ones. I'm interested in the remote ones and the private ones. Click on I agree with the terms and conditions, click on submit, and then nothing happens, right? We don't really get any type of, confirmation or anything like that. So let's just go back. And what we want to do is we want to just double click on this button and make sure that once you click on this button, it takes you to the loading, right? So what we can do is we can create an interaction, new transition, on click, set to variant loading. And then over here, not on click, we can remove this, on appear, set to variant success. So now if I go back and I press preview and I add in all of my information and I click on this, click on submit, we finally get this loading animation and then thank you, right? And inside of Google Sheets, this form was automatically created. I just opened it and you get the different dates with the phone number, the country, the different options that were selected, the newsletter on, and the name and the email. So now I also think it would be nice to have like a thank you for joining the waitlist page. So what we can do is we can duplicate this page and let's call it thank you page. And let's undraft this and let's call it thank you for joining the waitlist. And let's put some type of message like you will be getting an email. And then what we can do is we can just delete this layer at the bottom, this stack, and keep it like this, right? So we go back to our waitlist page, and what we want to do is we want to go to our layers and select the form and click on this redirect to the thank you page, right? So if I were to click on this play again and put in my information again and click on submit, we get this thank you for joining the waitlist page. Now, if you want to create a form that tracks specific submissions from a campaign that you're running, what you can also do is you can duplicate this page. And let's say that you're making some type of web design course, right? Web design masterclass. So join our waitlist for the masterclass. And what we can do here is we can set or we can pre-fill information when we know that it's coming from a specific source, right? So this one would be a more general one, but for here, it would be something for this masterclass. So for example, we can open Framer Forms again, find a good input like a dropdown, drop in this dropdown over here, set this to fill. And what we can do is say additional courses. And here we have the different options. So option A can be, coding. And option C can be something like graphic design. And then, for example, we can delete this image select section like so. And what we can do is we can even create a new sheet. So it's not going to go to that existing sheet that we saw earlier. We can connect a new sheet by clicking on this X and then creating a new one. So web design masterclass. And then we can press play and kind of fill this out. And then we can select one of these other courses that we might be interested in, vibe coding, for example. Click on I agree, click on submit. We get this redirect, and then let's open Google Sheets. Let's go back to the other sheets, and then we have the web design masterclass submissions, and we can see the different inputs, right? So that's pretty much it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to check out Framer Forms, check out the link in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.